Hey, this is Chris with the Plugin Pros, and in this video we're going to do a quick MarketShip tutorial. Once you've installed and activated the plugin, you can get to the MarketShip settings by going to WooCommerce, Settings, Shipping, and MarketShip. There, the first things you'll see are your client ID and your client secret. This is going to be provided by Shippo, but unfortunately they don't make it available on their website. You'll have to actually email them. So if you go to our documentation, we've got the email address you can email, which is partnerships@goshippo.com, and then we've also got an email template that you can use. Once you send that, they should reply back within a day with your client ID and your client secret, and you can stick them on your website. Below that, we've got the two different features that MarketShip enables: shipping calculations and label printing. We've separated these out because some marketplaces have their own shipping calculation methods in place and they don't want to use the MarketShip and they only want the label printing, and some may only want the shipping calculations and not the label printing. So we've enabled you, or given you, the ability to enable both or either or when it comes to these. So when you click on shipping calculations, you'll see that some new options appear. Within shipping calculations, you've got the option to allow per product shipping. What this is going to do is allow each product to have its own unique shipping method assigned to it. Some marketplaces this may make sense and some it may not. One word of caution though is if you do enable per product shipping, you may have a vendor misconfigure a product, and then at checkout the customer is going to get a message that says, sorry, there's no shipping methods available, this product can't be shipped, which we'll highlight here at the end of this video, do a few troubleshooting tips. So I'll go ahead and turn that on. Below that, you're going to see the different shipping methods that are available within MarketShip. The top three are the ones that are native to the MarketShip plugin. And then vendor shipping, this is actually a WC Vendors Pro install that I'm demoing on right now. And the vendor shipping is the native WC Vendors shipping method. We support WC Vendors, Dokan, and WCFM Marketplace. And with those three marketplaces, we do allow the native shipping systems to run alongside the MarketShip shipping systems as well. There are a few caveats on some of those. I believe per product shipping does not work with WCFM. I'd have to actually hop in there and see. But as you're setting it up, you'll see. And then below that, the final option is use admin account for calculations. Clicking on this will give you a button to connect your account, your Shippo account, to the marketplace. What this does is it allows your Shippo account to be used for returning the live rates on your website. So if a vendor wants to use the live rates to display the shipping on their products, but they don't have a Shippo account, or they're not interested in using the label printing feature, then they actually won't ever need a Shippo account. And this way they can still return rates through your account without actually having to go through and create an account and you having to hassle them with all that unnecessary setup, when all they're really wanting is to display those shipping rates on the website. Keep in mind, this will not charge your account if the vendor does decide to print labels. If they want to print a label from your website, they'll be prompted to create their own Shippo account, and that'll only go through their Shippo account. So clicking this button will go ahead and prompt us to connect, and I have actually already connected one time on this demo, so it's not going to prompt me. But if it's the first time that you're clicking the connect account button, you'll be redirected to Shippo with a login page where you can log into your account if you already have one, and if you don't, it'll hit you with the account creation process. So you'll create the account and then it'll redirect you back to your website. And just to give you an idea of what Shippo looks like here, this is the actual Shippo dashboard. When you log in, the thing that's going to be the most interesting or most useful for you is going to be going to carriers. And this is where you're going to enable and disable the different carriers that are going to be available on your website. When it comes to these, some of them, Shippo has their own account that you can just use, such as USPS, DHL, etc. You can see all the ones that the Shippo account works with. And then if there is a shipper that you want to use, such as FedEx or UPS, they require you have your own specific account with them. And so to connect those, you would just click up here, connect carrier account, pick the shipper you want to connect with, in this case FedEx, and then you could enter your information and it will allow you to connect your actual account that way, and then enable that shipper to be displayed on your website. So now that we've got that set up, we'll go ahead and save changes. Oh, I meant to toggle on label printing here. We'll save that. And then I'm going to hop on over to a vendor. So this is the same site. I'm just logged in as a vendor. We'll go ahead and hit the Pro dashboard. Go to settings. Nothing has been done. This is a brand new vendor account. As you can see, there is literally no information here. One important thing, if a vendor wants to use the live rates to show shipping on their products, they do have to have a configured address. So let me go ahead and just put in an address here. And Shippo is going to look at the city, or I'm sorry, they're going to look at the state and the zip code for calculating shipping rates. So they need to make sure that is in there. We'll go ahead and save it. And then to get to the actual shipping settings, we'll hop here to shipping. Now this is what the MarketShip vendor dashboard is going to look like. You'll see the different options that we had on the admin side as being available for use, as being available here to the vendor. You'll also notice a couple of these have the red exclamations, meaning further configuration is going to be needed in order for that method to work. And then you'll also see the default here where you can select which one you want to be default. So we'll go ahead and save live rates as a default. And then we'll hop in to configure this. So we'll click here to go ahead and say we want to use Shippo to calculate our rates. And you'll see from when I was in the Shippo account, now all of those enabled carriers are displayed here. So just for easiness, we'll use USPS. That'll be the only one we want. So, you know, if I'm a vendor and I exclusively ship through USPS, that way I can just say I only want USPS. I've got a packing strategy here where I can either set to have all of the items packed into a single box, or I can pack each item individually. Obviously, that's going to be a major impact on the shipping rates that are returned. So we say recommend pack items together, since in most cases, vendors are going to go ahead and throw everything into one box and ship it out versus multiple boxes. You've also got the option here to enter a rate adjustment. So if you would like to apply a handling fee, you can either select to do, say, like a $5 handling fee, or you could even do a 5%. It's totally up to the vendor, or they can do, you know, 0. And then finally, the last configuration the vendor needs to do here will be to add a box. Shippo is going to need to know what size box is being shipped, obviously, so that they can send that to the shippers and then get the rates returned and be accurate. So there's a couple different ways to do this. You can either create a custom template, or there are all these box templates based on the shippers. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a custom one. Oops. We'll make it 15 by 15 by 6. The weight of the box itself, we'll say 0.1, and the vendors are actually going to be able to change up their weight here. These are all going to default to whatever the marketplace default is, but the vendors are going to have their ability to change it. So 0.1 ounces now is a little weight, so, and max weight, we'll say 70 pounds, and you can mix up your values there. So we got a good box. We'll go ahead and save that. And the next thing is we need to go ahead and throw a product in so we can test this out. We'll come down here. We'll make it $10. And for shipping, the weight, we'll make it 1. The dimensions, we'll just go ahead and do 1. And you'll see this is the per product shipping that I mentioned earlier. When per product shipping is enabled, this section right here will be available to vendors. It's going to default to whatever the vendor's default setting is, but they've got the ability to do that. So if they did that and then said none, well, now all of a sudden this product is not going to be shippable. So that's something that if a vendor is saying they're having issues with a product, that's one of the first things to check, is to see if maybe they've got per product shipping set to not ship, or a different shipping method that hasn't been configured. So I'll go ahead and add this product. All right, and let's hop onto our store. Well, I forgot all these were here. Let's see. There we go. We'll go ahead and add that to the cart and view the cart. And so you'll see enter your address here to return rates. We'll do a different zip code. 30101 is what I set up the vendor initially in, so we'll do 30102. And you'll see now that we've got Priority Mail Express, Priority Mail, and USPS Parcel Select. So those are going to be the live rates that are now being returned by Shippo. And if you proceed to checkout, you'll see again those rates are being returned. And I forgot to set up a payment method, so bear with me 1 second here. We'll enable the test gateway so we can actually check out. All right. Oh, of course. Oops. All right, so now that the order is in, we'll hop onto our Pro dashboard here. And you can see when the vendor comes into their dashboard, they're going to have a new option here that says shipping labels. So they can click on that, and when they do, they'll get prompted to create a new label. And since you're using your admin account for label for rate return, there's no account set up yet to create the label. And this is where the vendor is going to need their own Shippo account, because this is where it actually costs money to use Shippo. So that's why we're hitting this now. So we'll go ahead and click create. And since I've already got an account here, I'll hit log in. There we go. I think that's all the oh, there's a crosswalk. There's another one. All right, I think that was all the crosswalks. And now that we're redirected back to the label creation. So we'll go ahead and we'll create a new label. Since I put in bogus addresses, now Shippo's not too happy with them, so I'll just throw in some local addresses here. I believe that's 30102 there. And your vendors can even click validate address. Oh, forgot the name. There we go. It'll validate that, and then the destination address. Let's see. This one's actually 30101. Can validate that. And then next is the box selection. Right here, it's going to go ahead and select the box that the algorithm thought was the best box out of the ones we had already created as a vendor, but you've also got the option to create a custom box if you want. If you've got a box that might fit the items being shipped a little better. We'll go ahead and just stick with what we got here. You go ahead and put in the box weight, so we'll say 0.1, and then below it will be where you pack the box, so to speak, where you identify which products are going in, and you can even make some weight adjustments here for your items. The next is the extras, where your vendors will have the ability to add insurance. If they want to add insurance, they can specify the amount, and then they can also put some description there on what is actually being insured. And then also the option to mark an order complete/shipped once the label has been printed. This is going to be dependent on the platform. For instance, in WC vendors, you can't mark the order as complete, but you can mark it as shipped. Marking the order as complete is only something that the admin, the marketplace admin, can do. But you'll see down here where this order currently says shipped as no. I'll go ahead and toggle this as yes so we can see that happen. And once we do that, it's going to go ahead and return our rates. And you'll notice the 3 rates here match the 3 that were presented at checkout. And if the vendor tries to select a rate that was not the one that the customer picked at checkout, they'll get this along with a notice saying which one was selected. We'll go ahead and just do the 702, save a couple bucks. Well, save about a few cents really. And then the next is the review and print, where it's going to have all your information here, and then you'll also be able to print the format of the label. So we'll go ahead and buy this. And there you have it. You have a legitimate shipping label that, in this case, I can just print out on my printer and tape it onto the box. And you'll notice too now, when they go to the shipping labels, you've got the tracking information, you've got all the information on the shipper, and then you've got a little menu here that you can either refund or reprint the label. And if for whatever reason the vendor needs to create another label, for instance, if they were packing items individually, they'll have the option here to create a new label. So we'll hop off that, and you'll notice too that now that the page is reloaded, this order now is shipped to yes. And if you go to shipping labels, again, you'll get access to your created label. And finally, when you print a label with the MarketShip platform, it's going to go ahead and in the shipment notification that's sent, the default email that's sent by WooCommerce, it's going to go ahead and tack in that tracking information along with providing a link to the shipper to track it. And I'll show you an example of what that looks like right here. You'll see this is right now just a default template email that comes out of WooCommerce, but there's this new section that's been added called tracking, where it'll provide the shipper as well as a clickable tracking number that'll take you to that shipper's tracking system. So that's a quick rundown of the MarketShip platform. If you have any questions or run into any issues, feel free to shoot us an email at support@thepluginpros.com or use our contact form online. We've also got some pretty robust documentation there as well, which you can reach by going to the product listing on our website and then just clicking a documentation link. Again, my name's Chris. Thank you for watching and have a great day.